As of right now, yes. Yes, I would say that. I would say his left hook is his money shot.
That left hook is vicious. The quickness in that left hook is spectacular. The right hand is no joke either.
With everybody, all the great left hookers of the past.
But the crazy thing is, like, bro, he don't even bring it out. He just goes from right here.
Right there, whip. Like a whip.
It just kills guys.
It has so much power from short distance, just nothing. Just turns it over.
Yeah.
And he can hit you with multiple ones in a row.
Hey, he just keeps throwing left hooks. He don't even believe in jabs.
And the funny thing was the troll job.
Gervonta Davis is among the voices sounding the alarm for Conor Benn heading into fight night, and is not alone in pointing to one particular weapon in Garcia's toolkit, his left hook, that could decide everything.
His game is that he's a decent counterpuncher. I'm not gonna lie. He's a decent counterpuncher. He knows how to land that left hook. And the fact that his father started to develop his right hand, that's gonna help him even more in fights, because he don't have to be just dependent upon one punch. He can use both hands now. And what I did like about Ryan's performance was he did go to the body as well. He went to the body with right hands to the body as well.
Turning to what makes Garcia so dangerous in the first place, Eddie Hearn and Tony Bellew pointed to hand speed nobody else in the division can match. Drawing comparisons to Amir Khan and calling it the true separator, they stress that's the reason shots land before rivals even react.
We're going to see Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia is the
Benn.
quickest fighter pound for pound in the world. Ryan Garcia is the fastest fighter in the world. I don't care what anybody says.
It's not athletics, though, is it?
No, it's pound for pound. Adi, the hardest thing in boxing is to get there and land. He can land, and you don't even see it coming.
I think 147 for him as well is when he was at 135. I remember when he fought Luke Campbell. He was really tight down there.
He is so
I think
quick.
147, he's a...
I was at that fight against Barrios. Physically, at 147, he looked just... Because he's quite tall.
I haven't seen a fighter as quick as him since...
Shifting focus to Benn's actual chances, Eddie Hearn weighed whether stepping in at 147 is truly realistic for him, factoring in how brutal the cut down to that limit could prove for a fighter not naturally built there. He also raised the power dynamics at play, questioning whether that gap alone could tip the fight before it even gets going.
Like
I mean, look, I'll give him a chance because you never know what you're going to get with Ryan.
Another one.
Talk about temperament.
It's like Tio.
No one gave Rolly a shot. People,
yeah, but
we made
that was
fight.
a bit of a weird night.
Yeah,
like,
for Times
the whole
Square.
thing was a bit weird, and I think that if Ryan's on, I hate Conor at 147. It's going to be so brutal for him to get down there. Once you've been 160 twice, even when he was
he's always known he's a 147.
Tony said he ain't got the power at 147. He was, and he's not robust enough at 147.
No, I don't.
Up at
I
160,
disagree.
he was punching harder. He's not a 160, by the way.
That left hook keeps coming up as the real threat in this fight. Gareth A. Davies weighed in on why, pointing to it as the shot with power to end things outright. He broke down what the drop to 147 actually costs Benn. Unless he gets there first with something decisive of his own, that hook could decide it.
If he's going to make 147, if he's good at the weight, it'll be a good fight. If he has really struggled at the weight, he's going to struggle against Garcia, who is a massive puncher at welterweight with both left and right hooks, notably that left hook. It's a dangerous fight for him. I think it'll deliver all the way to the fight, but I'm afraid I think he'll get knocked out by Ryan Garcia, unless he knocks Garcia out himself. I want to see Devin Haney in with Ryan Garcia as well in the rematch. That's a massive fight. But Conor Benn, I've said this before and I will say it again, could end up with 50, 60, 70 million in the bank and never win a world title.
But not everyone was fully sold on that. Mike Coppinger treated Benn's knockout intentions as a legitimate threat worth breaking down, pointing to specific moments in Garcia's past where he's been visibly hurt and folded under sustained pressure, framing that vulnerability as exactly the blueprint Benn's camp is building toward heading into fight night.
Conor Benn, he's training here in Santa Monica, Max, getting ready for the big fight against Ryan Garcia. It's going to be September 12th, and I am told, and you don't hear this a lot really, I'm told that he is training for the knockout. He knows that Ryan Garcia has been stopped before, happened against Gervonta Davis. He got dropped against Rolly Romero. Conor Benn wants the knockout. He's shown that he has big power at 47. This is going to be his first fight at the weight in, I believe, 4.5 years or so.
To me, that's actually news, Gabe, because not everyone trains for the knockout, right? Yeah. You hear a lot of fighters say, hey, I'm going to train to beat him. If the knockout comes, it comes. What does this mean to you?
I think this is the way he can win the...
Elsewhere, the group dug into just how risky this drop to welterweight really is for a fighter who hasn't made that number in years. They invoked Roy Jones Jr.'s well-documented struggles once he began shedding weight late in his career, using it as a cautionary tale for the physical toll Benn could be walking into.
The weight champion of the world went back down to 75, and he lost that pop. So, you know, it's going to be
even
Eubank
too. Even
yeah,
when
he lost that
even
speed.
when Conor fought Eubank, losing all that weight, it showed in the second fight. So I didn't think that till you mentioned it, because I thought that Conor's gonna win this fight. I think you talk about you put him in.
And I think Roy's one of the greatest of all time.
Roy is
by the way.
But I'm saying you put him in.
Roy was 1 or 2 fights away from replacing Sugar Ray Robinson as #1 pound for pound. He never should have gone back down to light heavyweight. It's
right
a good point.
He beats Ruiz and goes right down to 175, and
he was never the same.
You can see
by the way, it wasn't even just the Tarver knock.
The bigger question dividing the consensus was whether Garcia's power and work to the body would be enough to break down Benn's relentless, pressure-heavy style. Some argued his high-output approach simply overwhelms fighters over time, while others believed Garcia's precision could shut it down before it ever builds momentum.
Ryan's a good body puncher.
Maybe the weight is
good body puncher.
That's probably the big concern for me. Now you put it in that perspective. I thought that so many close fights because Ryan is good.
Yeah.
I got Conor winning. I think when you put Ryan in some fights with dogs, I don't think Rolly's that good of a fighter. I think Rolly's a dog though. Right? You put him in there with Tank, another talented, athletic dog. Right? You see how that ended. And
Ryan's either going to have to take that out of Conor's hands by knocking him unconscious, or he's going to have to show that he has dog in him that Conor Benn is calling out, saying you don't have that.
Attention then turned to Garcia's recent posts online, with Tony Bellew debating whether that swagger signals genuine readiness or a distraction from camp. Some floated the idea that misplaced confidence could open a window for Benn to capitalize, provided he's disciplined enough to make Garcia pay for any lapse in focus.
Punching harder. He's not a 160, by the way.
Yeah.
But he was punching harder. I think he was more robust to take shots. At 147, drained. He don't hit hard enough. And if he gets hit by those shots,
I disagree. I think if he clips Garcia the right
At
way.
147.
If he clips him, boy, he's gonna know. He's gonna know he's being hit. And once again, I think I've seen a little bit of the presser. I haven't seen it all. I've seen the little clips on social media. And when you've seen Ryan Garcia saying the things he's saying, that automatically leads me to think, you just think this guy's not much. You think this is an easy night's work.
Tony Bellew didn't dismiss Benn's grit or the genuine work he's put in throughout camp, but ultimately leaned toward Garcia's speed as the deciding factor. Even with questions surrounding what the cut to 147 might physically take out of him, Eddie Hearn still landed firmly in Garcia's favor, making Benn's preparation and toughness difficult to overlook heading into fight night.
I got to go with Ryan.
Very quick, Tone.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can't. I want to pick Conor. I want to pick him, but Ryan Garcia is the fastest fighter in the world, pound for pound. I can't see past him.
I just think the weight cut's going to be too hard.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Conor Benn. Absolutely not. I'm not going to go with Conor.
Oh, get it.
I think. Listen, Conor's got big balls. He trains super hard. He'll go into that fight with it, giving it everything. I just think he'll get chinned.
And he believes everything he's saying, by the way.
Yeah, he does. He thinks he's going to win.
But guys, I've got to wrap. Everyone's telling me to wrap him, so we've got to wrap.
Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix broke down the numbers, with Mora putting Benn's chances at a slim 1 in 5. They pointed to Garcia's added right hand as proof of real evolution in his game, adding that Benn's only real path forward runs through close-range exchanges rather than trying to outbox him from distance.
Does Conor Benn have a chance to upset Ryan Garcia?
A slim chance. I think a 20% chance, Trejo, because we've seen Ryan Garcia be vulnerable in exchanges. We've seen him go down. We've questioned his heart before. But I think we're seeing a new Ryan Garcia. That performance against Mario Barrios surprised the hell out of me. I never knew he had a right hand. So that means he developed a right hand, and he always had that lethal left hook. So I think Conor Benn, who needs to get on the inside, it's going to be a recipe for disaster. So I think Ryan Garcia is a major favorite, and Conor Benn's going to have a tough.
The discussion then shifted to each man's realistic route to victory. Both hosts credited Benn's raw explosive power and acknowledged Garcia's documented history of struggling against shots to the body, but they ultimately settled on Garcia as the clear favorite, simply owning far more paths to a finish than Benn does in return heading into fight night.
I would say there's a chance, because I do think Conor Benn has explosive power. We've seen Ryan Garcia drop to the body. We've seen him stop to the body. We've also seen him clipped when he steps back. Like when he steps back, he has a bad habit of dropping his hands and exposing his chin, and maybe Conor Benn can catch him like that. But I do think Ryan is an overwhelming favorite, and there's a lot more ways that Ryan Garcia can stop Conor Benn than Conor Benn can stop Ryan.
But they also laid down concerns over Garcia's life outside the ring, questioning whether his streaming career and social media presence hinted a lack of seriousness heading into camp. Despite raising eyebrows over the optics of his extracurricular activities, the hosts ultimately extended him the trust that comes with being a proven, established world champion.
I'm going to ask you one thing about this. There was the video that came out this week of Ryan Garcia doing karaoke with at the streamer Neon's place.
Yeah.
And I saw Terrence Crawford reply to that or comment on that and say, you better be taking this seriously or you're going to get knocked out. Do you think there's any chance that Ryan Garcia is taking Conor Benn maybe too lightly?
Of course, because Ryan Garcia is a streamer. He's a YouTuber. He's one of these Instagram guys, but he is a champion now because of politics. He has that WBC strapped around his waist. So we have to label him and call him and respect him as a world champion.
Dalton Smith weighed in with a mix of hope and honesty, admitting he'd love to see a British win for Benn, but ultimately can't get past Garcia's speed, youth, and power as the deciding combination. He even added that he'd relish being part of an event with that kind of magnitude himself down the line.
Dalton, Conor Benn, Ryan Garcia coming up. A lot of people think Ryan's maybe not taking it that seriously. Do you think Conor could upset the odds and pull it off, or do you make Garcia a big favourite?
You know, as a Brit, you want him to do it. You know, because that'd be a good fight for me to be a part of as well. But I just think Ryan's got the speed, the youth, you know, the speed and power. I just favour Ryan in that fight.
Jimmy Sains offered a grounded read on Benn's camp, describing him as training hard, staying in exceptional shape, and carrying real physical strength into this one. Far from writing him off, Sains made clear Benn's not walking in unprepared, calling him someone fully capable of giving Garcia a genuinely legitimate test come fight night.
How was he looking before he went out to America?
Yeah, Conor always trains very hard. He's very fit and strong. Yeah, I'm expecting a great fight. Him and Garcia is going to be an absolutely great fight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Did you spar him at all for this camp when he was over in the UK?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. So he's back sparring welterweights now. So yeah.
But, from what you saw, you know, Garcia's saying, like, you know, it's going to be easy work and I'm going to get rid of him within 5 rounds. From what you've seen of Conor in this camp, has he got this like massively wrong, do you think?
Listen, Ryan Garcia is unbelievable.
Sains then broke down the actual game plan, stressing that Benn's best shot comes from landing his power shots early and forcing Garcia to second-guess his whole approach. He pointed back to the Rolly-Romero fight as the template, arguing that if Benn can land clean and stun him early, his path to an upset opens up considerably.
He's not WBC world champion for no reason. Like Conor Benn, he's no idiot. He's going to give him a test. I think if Conor needs to land early and show Garcia his power, and then once he lands, Garcia's going to maybe have to rethink. So yeah, I'm excited for Conor.
And if he does land, we saw, you know, with Rolly and Ryan that sort of Ryan didn't like the power of Rolly. Do you think it could be a similar thing if Conor can land?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, if Conor can land early and liven him up a little bit, I think Conor's got more than a good chance.
Timothy Bradley Jr. broke down how the tension between these two keeps escalating, describing the atmosphere as increasingly heated and downright ugly as both men settle into deep camp. With that shift comes a sharper focus on the physical and mental toll each is putting themselves through heading into fight night.
It is getting ugly. And it's going to get even more fiery, especially when both of them really, really start getting down and training and having those sleepless nights, you know, thinking about each other, you know, not in that way. I know the way y'all think, but in the way of like, I'm going to hurt you, you know, and when we do get on that day, that week of the fight, yeah, you're going to know, you're going to feel my pain. You're going to feel my wrath.
Bradley then gave his firm read on how it ends, stating flatly that he doesn't see this one going the distance, pointing to the sacrifices and punishment absorbed in camp. He made clear someone is going to pay for it inside the ring, and his final call lands on Garcia as the man delivering that price.
All the sacrifice that I've been through, all the training I've been through, somebody's going to pay for that. I don't see this fight going the distance. I don't see this fight going the distance. Somebody's getting knocked out, period. Somebody is about to get knocked out. You know, and I believe that the favorite should be the favorite. should be the favorite, and that's Ryan Garcia.
Meanwhile, Sean Porter laid out why he sees Garcia holding the clear edge, pointing to his superior speed and power working from the outside as the combination most likely to produce a stoppage. In his eyes, that outside game is simply the harder problem for Benn to solve, giving Garcia the more direct route to ending the fight early.
I think that fight, based off of how Ryan Garcia just looked in his last fight, I mean, it looks like he beats Conor Benn. Conor Benn has a style that matches what Ryan is good. You know, the style clash favors Ryan Garcia because of his speed, because of his power from the outside. So definitely a tough fight for Conor Benn.
Porter then leaned on first-hand experience, recalling 4 rounds of sparring with Benn and coming away impressed by his toughness, speed, footwork, and overall versatility. He argued that Benn's ability to learn and adjust makes him a more dangerous opponent than many assume. Even so, Porter still gave Garcia the edge, settling on a split decision in Garcia's favor.
Again, based off of Ryan's last fight, I would say 60-40. Ryan Garcia wins that fight, possibly KO, but Conor is very, very tough, and that's what I already knew about him, but I got to see it firsthand when we sparred. He's much more versatile than we saw in the first fight with Eubank. Comes back in a rematch against Eubank. We see the versatility, we see the speed, the foot movement, and things of that nature. Those were the things that I saw in sparring when I sparred with him. Just 4 easy rounds or whatever, which let me know that he could be.
Attention turned to just how demanding this drop to 147 really is for Benn, a mark he hasn't hit in over 4 years. Simon Jordan and Oliver Spencer didn't question his desire for the opportunity, but warned that shedding those final pounds takes a physical toll that could blunt his strength against a proven champion like Garcia.
Tough fight. It's a tough fight, especially down at 147, a weight that he hasn't made for over 4 years.
I mean, Simon, how much did the Eubank fights alter the public perception of Conor?
Oh, I think a little bit. I think he inhabited the role of the pantomime villain in it. So he played the gallery a little bit, and he became an angry young man for the gallery.
Yeah.
And that monetized the fight and made him very wealthy as a result of it. And people have got mixed emotions. I think Conor's a very nice boy. I always have done. I think that they, as Spencer alluded to, I don't think the way that situation was handled was particularly admirable. And by a load of...
He then dug into the matchup itself, pointing out Garcia's history of looking for a way out once pressure gets extreme. Still, they cautioned that Benn is facing a serious step up in class, agreeing that unless his power translates fully to the lighter weight, victory becomes a tall order.
The thing I can say in this fight is if he can carry the power into the 147s, then we know that Garcia has a propensity, or had a propensity when it gets tough, to look for a way out. He looked for a way out against Tank Davis, and I know we're talking about levels in that fight, Spence.
Yep.
But he showed it once, and if Conor can make the fight ugly and drag him into a fight, you might see Garcia's backside go a little bit. But it looks very, very difficult fight for Conor to win, and it's probably, we all talked the other day about the idea that Conor Benn has been the best matched fighter for the kind of finances that he's been able to achieve, and fair play.
Oliver Spencer framed this matchup as a defining measuring stick for Benn's career, one that could help him move past prior controversy around drug testing and cement real standing in the sport. While Garcia remains the heavy favorite, they agreed a win for Benn would rank among the biggest an American ring has ever handed a British fighter.
That's why I put it down as one of my fights that I really wanted to see this, because it's the known against the unknown, and Conor Benn has done a lot of talking, and now it's time to deliver. This is the launch pad for him, the acid test.
But you're both telling me it's going to be a tough night for Benn.
On what we've seen, Ryan Garcia would start a heavy favourite for me.
Heavy favourite? Heavy favourite?
Yeah, heavy favourite.
Really?
Yeah. We got to remember, Jim, for people that won't understand, boxing weights and how hard it is to make these boxing weights, Conor Benn has been competing at 160 pounds. He went down to 155 pounds, was it, or something last time?
Regis closed with a blunt reminder of what this sport actually is, noting how quickly game plans unravel once real leather starts landing. At this level, he suggested it often comes down to something simple. Whoever lands the first big shot tends to be the one dictating the pace, controlling the exchanges, and ultimately writing the ending.
Man, bro, you gotta realize, that's what I told Conor, bro, this is a fight, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you can have all the skills you want. When you get hit, man, I'm telling you, bro, it's a difference. If you never been hit with an 8-ounce glove or a 10-ounce glove on, bro, that shit hurt. And when you get hit, man, it changed a lot of things. Just like Tyson said, bro, like, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. And that's so, bro, I swear that's so true. You can have all the plans you want. When you get hit with that, man, them little ass gloves, that hurt, bro. Like, so, yeah, man, I think that, yeah, Conor and Ryan will be a great.
With voices across the sport split on how this one plays out, the thing everyone agrees on is that fight night won't disappoint. Speed against power, youth against grit, and a British underdog looking to shock the world. If you want every prediction, sparring story, and camp update as this fight builds toward fight night, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single breakdown.